Hi guys, today I am going to give the presentation on embedded systems. So this is the project we had done. So before going to discuss about the project, let me introduce myself and my team members. So I am B. Priyanka from University College of Engineering, Nasropet, JNTUT, and I am from Electronics and Communication Engineering branch. My team members are here. He is Sandeep Shandilya, Electronics and Communication Engineering branch from CMRIT Bangalore. So we had done the project on microwave oven. These are the topics we are going to discuss now. What is an embedded system? C programming, microcontrollers and microprocessors, picsimlab, PIC16F877A, microwave oven project demo. What is an embedded system? So embedded system is a combination of both hardware and software is called an embedded system. Everyone will use embedded system in their daily life. There are there are so many examples in our day-to-day life. They are consumer electronics, industrial machines, agricultural and processing industry devices, automobiles, cameras, digital watches, household appliances, airplanes, household appliances, vending machines and toys, as well as mobile devices, medical equipment. There are so many etc. are there. So these are the examples. C programming language. Everyone knows that C is a very general purpose language. It was introduced by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories in 1972. It is a very popular language despite being good. The main reason for popularity is it is a fundamental language in the field of computer science. It is strongly associated with Unix and developed to write the Unix operating system. So, in In this project, we are going to use the embedded C programming. So what is an embedded C? It is an extension of C programming. Simply we can write it is an extension of C programming language. But it includes some features there such as addressing input, output, fixed point arithmetic, multiple memory addressing, etc. In this we use several specific compilers are used. So this format depends upon the kind of microprocessors used. So the characteristics are it requires the continuous execution and a high accessibility and dependability created around an ongoing working framework intended for one explicit assignment, offers high unwavering quality and strength. It should be associated with peripherals to interface info and yield gadgets. The disadvantages are it performs only single task at same time. It cannot perform multiple tasks at same time. It supports the only hardware system, and it also have the issue of scalability, mean it cannot easily have scaled up as scope change or demand. It have a limitation such as limited memory or computer compatibility. So in C we use different keywords. There are total 32 keywords are there. They are auto, break, case, char, continue, do, default, constant, double, else, enum, extern, for, if, go to, float, int, long, register, return, signed, static, size of, short, struct, switch, type def, union, void, while, volatile, unsigned. These are the keywords we are going to use. Data types. So what is a data type? Declarations of variables is called a data type. This determines the type and the size of the data associated with the variables. So these are the data types and the ranges and their bits are here. So basic structure of a embedded C program template is here. The first line is multiple line comments, and after that single line comments, preprocessor directives, global variables, and function declarations, and main function. And the execution begins here. In the main function, there are local variables function calls infinite loop statements. And after the main function, closing the main function, function definitions. We have to define the functions. And after that, local variables, etc. Here we have to print the array of index 0. The array index of 0 is here 25. So the output is 25. So now we are going to discuss about the statements. So you can see there are three types of control statements: branching, looping, jumping. In branching, it is again divided into if else, simple if statement, if else statement, else if statement, switch statement, case statement. In looping, also there are again divided into three types: for loop, while loop, do while loop. And after that, jumping, break, continue, go to. So first we have to discuss about the branching statements. So what are branching statements? Conditional control statements and multi-way conditional control statements. There are two types: conditional and multi-way conditional control statements. So first one, conditional control statements. So simple if statement. It is the simple form of if else statement. If the if the if statement is true, then it will be executed. Otherwise, it will be terminated. If the condition is false, it will be terminated. So the second statement is if else statement. So here is the syntax of the if else statement. If expression, and under the block of statements, else block of statements. In if else condition, if the expression is true, the block will be executed, and if it is false, the else block gets executed, and it prints the statement. And the third one is else if statement. It is a chain of multiple if else statements. Here is the syntax of the else if statement. So the first condition is expression 1. If the expression 1 is true, it will be printed. Otherwise, if the expression condition 1 is false, we will go to the else if condition 2. If the condition is true, statement 2 will be printed. Otherwise, we will go to the else statement and it will be printed on the screen. So the fourth one is nested if statement. Nested if statement. The if statement with another if is called as a nested if. If with another if statement is called as nested if. Inner if is processed only when outer if condition is true. So let us see the syntax of the nested if statement. So this is the syntax. If condition 1 expression. So switch statement. So switch statement syntax is here. So switch case statement. It is similar to else statement, and it is more efficient and easier to read. These statements can executed when the condition are true. If it is false, then the default block is executed. So here is the last one is the default block. If it is executed when the condition is false. So these are the conditional and multi-way conditional control statements. So now we are going to moving to the looping statements. So how many types are there? There are three types of looping statements: for loop, while loop, do while loop. For loop. The for loop, it first initializes the condition. It checks the condition. If it checks the condition, first we have to assume the initialize the expression. and after that it checks the execution and then it will be updated. For loop in C programming is a repetition control structures that allows programmers to write a loop that will be executed a specific number of times. So here is the syntax of for loop statement. While loop. While loop does not depend upon the number of iterations. In for loop, the number of iterations was previously known to us, but in while loop, it's not like that. In the while loop, the execution is terminated based on the condition. If it is false, it will break from the while loop, else body will be executed. So this is the syntax. Initialization underscore expression while test expression and body of while loop update expression. Do while. So a pointer is a derived data type. It can store the address of other variables or memory location. We can access and manipulate the data stored in that memory location using pointers. As it stores the address, their size is independent of the size of the data. So the size of pointers depends only on the system architecture. So the syntax is here, the pointer syntax. Data type has to pointer, but we use the dereferencing operator here. It is similar to the variable declarations in C. So the features of pointers are it saves the memory space, execution time with pointers is faster because data are manipulated with the address that is direct access efficiently. Hmm. So the third one is memory is accessed efficiently with the pointers. The pointer assigns and releases the memory as well. So the memory of pointers is dynamically allocated. So these are used with the data structures. So it is useful in presenting two-dimensional and multi-dimensional arrays. Use it for file handling, allocate memory dynamically. In C++, a pointer declared to a base class could access the object of a derived class. An array of any type can be accessed with the help of pointers without considering its subscript range. The uses of pointers are to pass the arguments by reference, to access the array element, to return multiple value, to implement data structures, to do system level programming where memory addresses are useful. Pointer name is denoted with PTR. Data type is the type of the data it is pointing to. Though the above syntax is used to define a pointer. To use the pointers, it can be divided into three steps: pointer declaration, pointer initialization, and the third one is dereferencing. First one, pointer declaration. In pointer declaration, we only declare the pointer but do not initialize it. To declare a pointer, we use the operator dereference operator before the name. So it is shown here. It is the example of int dereference operator PTR. So the second step is pointer initialization. It is the process of where we assign some initial value to the, here it is shown, it is the pointer, and that here it is the address of the pointer variable, and the value of the variable, address of variable stored as a pointer. So what is a function? A function is a set of statements. When call performs some specific task, it is a basic building block of a C program. It provides modularity and code reusability. The programming statements of a function are enclosed within the flower brackets, having certain meaning, certain operations. So they are also called as subroutines and procedures in their languages. To write the syntax of a function, it can be divided into three aspects: function declaration, definition, function calls. So the function declarations. In the function declaration, we must provide the function name, return type, and its parameters. A function declaration tells the compiler that there is a function with a given name defined somewhere else in the program. The syntax is here: return type, name of the function, parameter 1 and parameters 2. Example, let us take an example. Here it is int sum, int a, int b. Function definition. It is a consists of actual statements which are executed when the function is called. Function definition. Here it is. In this we can easily understand. It indicates the return type, heading, function name, and void is the parameter. In int heading, void is the header, and the statement is here is the body. And here we don't need to use the semicolon. The library function is also referred to as a built-in function. Built-in functions have the advantage of being directly usable without being defined, whereas user-defined must be declared and defined before being used. So these are the examples. Here, passing parameters to functions. Here, the data passed when the function is being invoked is known as the actual parameters. So let us take an example. Here it is an example. Here it is a formal parameter, and here it is a actual parameter. We can pass arguments to C function by two ways. The two ways are pass by value and pass by reference. Here in the program, 10 and 30 are known as actual parameters, and A and B are the formal parameters. Pass by value. What is a pass by value? Parameters passing in this method copies values from actual parameters into formal function parameters. As a result, any changes made inside the functions do not reflect in the caller's parameters. So what is it? Parameters passing in this method, it copies the values from actual to formal function parameters. If we had done any changes inside the function, do not reflect in the caller's parameters. Strings. So what is a string? A string is a sequence of characters. It is terminated with a null character. The string is stored as an array of characters. The difference between character and array is a string is in the C string is the string is terminated with a unique character. So the syntax of string declaration is here.
Hello to everyone present here. I am Sandeep, second year student from EC branch of CMR Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Now I am presenting the rest from where Priyanka has left. So see, now we are on storage classes. These are the basics of C. Storage classes are generally used to describe what is the feature of a function or a particular variables. Now, see, there are four C storage classes in C languages. That is auto, extern, static, and registers. See, generally registers are used for embedded C, that is advanced C, and in general purpose C, we use auto. Now, what are preprocessors? Preprocessors are the program that process the source code before the actual compilation of that. Like it's compile the code before the actual compilation. And in C, we use hash for any preprocessors. Now, this is the microcontroller that we have used in our project. We don't have the actual hardware microcontroller, so we are using uh, some simulation, that is picsimlab for this. We have downloaded the software. I'll show you the demo of the project at last. Now these are some of the features of our microcontroller, that is PIC16F877A. uh, like it's a high performance risk. Risk is a kind of CPU. We like everyone must be doing risk and sys. So this PIC16F is a risk processor. Now features, like we can see the features and all, and these are it has 33 IO pins and 5 IO ports, and it has a 8-bit timer counter with 8-bit prescaler and timer one. Like it has two timers, one is 8-bit and one is 16-bit, and one is with 8-bit prescaler, other one is 16-bit prescaler. Now these are, it has two synchronous serial ports and all. This we can see. Now this is the plot diagram of PIC16F877A. So we can see what pin is used for what purpose and all. Now, what is microcontroller? Microcontroller is basically a chip that we use for embedded systems. Generally, it is used for embedded systems only. Like I don't know, like we have ever used this for general purposes and all. So it has a CPU, a ROM or something, and an input output port. And what is microprocessor? In simple word, if we say microprocessor is basically a computer on a single chip. Yeah, this is a revolution to the what electronics world that we had. These are some of the differences between microprocessor and microcontroller. See, microprocessor is CPU. It has ROM, RAM. We can add external devices to it. And whereas microcontroller is generally used for embedded systems, it has a RAM, ROM that we have seen, and an IO ports. The microprocessor is used for general purpose, uh, general purpose operations like in mobile phones and all. Whereas microcontrollers is used for embedded systems only. Uh, Now, yes, now this is the picsimlab. We have done our project on, like we will simulate our project on this only. So you can see, like I'll show you the demo. First I'm showing you like what is pixim. So this is only the picsimlab. We have set all the configurations and all, and now we will do. And this is the ID on which we have written the code for microwave oven. That is our project. So see, this is MPLAB XID, and we used a separate compiler for this. Now I'll show you the projects. So now I'll show you. See, this is the ID on which I have written the code. Sorry, we have written the code. And so these are the codes. Now what we'll do, see, let me check once that everything is completed now. So yes. Everything is completed. Now we'll go here, we'll right click, we'll click on build. You can see now build is done and our hex file is generated. Now we'll go to the picsimlab. See, this is the picsimlab. I have set the LCD screen to this and all rest of the configuration that is needed. Now I'll go and I'll click on reload last. So you all can see this is the our my covering on the microwave oven. Now there are four modes. Like I can't explain you everything about the four modes, but these are the four modes. So now first I'll click if I click one, that is for micro, two is for grill, three is for convection, and four is for start. Now click on micro mode. So see its power is 900 watts starting. Now I'll not set much time. I'll let it be 5 seconds. Then I'll enter it. So see, within it started working. If I click on 4, see the time is increasing by 30 seconds. Like I have written, like we have done like that. That if we click on start button, the time will be increased by 30 seconds for the microwave oven. Now if I press 5, so it will pause. Again, if I want to resume it, then I'll press 4. And if I click on 6, it will go to start button. Like that one, the second one is grill. See, it's also same. So I'll check again. I'll set it to 5 seconds. I'll click hash. See if I click on clear, it will be cleared. Again, I have to click 5 seconds. I'll enter it now. This is, and when the time is up for the microwave, buzzer will be there and it will automatically start with the main menu. Now the third one is convection mode. We have set the seat. In this we have to set the temperature and all. Let's say 8 and that is on degree Celsius. So let's say 8 seconds. So preheating is starting. Uh, this should be 180 seconds, but I have set it to 18 seconds only till now. So it's fine. Yes. 7, 6, 5, 4. Like we have to preheat the oven before the actual in convection mode. Now we'll set the time, that is 7 seconds. Let it be 7 seconds. Now see the rest all the functions are like that. Only if I click on 6, automatically we'll go to uh, start button. Now fourth one is menu start. That is we have to uh, uh, like we have to heat some of our foods or something for some time. We use this. Again stop. So this is our demo for the project, and thank you so much.